our fulfillment process execution. And these are the things that we're going to do here. We're going to receive an inquiry for an item. A customer is going to send us an inquiry of wanting some trading goods. We're then going to create a quotation. We're going to receive an order, and then we're going to convert that over to a sales order. So what that means is a quotation does not mean that the customer had said yes yet, right? So there's a difference between receive inquiry and receive an order, meaning they're definitely getting it. We then will create a sales order. We are then going to get into warehouse, and we're going to start picking it, packing it, and sending it for shipment. Our accounting department will then send an invoice, will receive payment, and post payment. All right, so let's get started here. So we should have completed all the way up until 5:1. And so we are going to go into the receive inquiry. So in this section, you'll look over the customer inquiry. In this section, you'll look over the customer inquiry that you received. This section has no SAP activity associated with it. You will have received the following sales inquiry from a customer, which is requesting a price quotation for a list of products. These products consist of trading goods. So basically, we're pretending, right? What functional group are we in? We're in marketing sales, right? And so there's an inquiry. A customer says, hey, I'd like to have these items, right? So to whom it may concern in the marketing department or sales department, my name is Jeremy Jones, and I am a purchasing agent for DC Bikes in our nation's capital. I was looking through your catalog and would like to receive a quote for the following items. So our elbow pads, road helmets, and repair kit. And they're saying, well, we want 20 of one, 15, and 12. A quote by email or fax would be ideal. Thanks, Jeremy Jones, right? So this section is no activity associated with it, but this is kind of telling you what the process is like, right? So you'll get that in your sales department. And what does your sales department have to do then? In this section, you create a quotation in response to the inquiry you received in the previous email step. This section involves creating a quotation and forwarding it to the customer. For this exercise, the quote will be printed out. Alternatively, it could be transmitted electronically. So we're going to do this, okay? And we're just going to click on it just so it brings it up, but we're not going to print it out, right? Okay, so let's go into this. So we're in easy access here, logistics here. And then we're going to be in sales and distribution. So we're in sales, right? Because that's the module. You're in the sales department. You're going into sales folder. And then you're going to go into a quotation. And then you're going to go into create. Before I click on it, you know I'm going to ask you some questions. So 1, 2, and 3 are things that you can answer. What's create a sales quotation, what's change a sales quotation, and what's display. Everything is kind of here for you. Okay. So you can do 1, 2, and 3. And then once you're done, we're going to hit on create. VA21 is the transaction code. So once I get into that transaction code, you'll see a create quotation screen. And there's a continue button at the bottom, and there's create with reference. Okay. So in the create quotation initial screen, enter in the following information. So here's our fields, and then here's our data value. And so in the quotation type, we're going to click on it and look for quotation. There's lots of different ones. So there's quotation, QT. The sales organization is going to be our East Coast because that's where our sales group resides. So we're in that UE. I'm 99 for this class, right? Yeah. And then my distribution channel is going to be wholesale. And thy division is going to be accessories because they asked for something that was trading goods, and I know trading goods is under accessories, not bikes, right? So I'm in accessories. And then it says click continue. So I don't need to enter in anything else, and I'm going to click on continue. And so I'm in this screen here, which is your quotation screen, okay? And so this is kind of looks familiar. You have all this information at the top. You have some items and tabs at the bottom. You have your net value that will show up here, okay? And so what we're going to do in create quotation overview screen, enter the following information. Sold to party. So that's going to be the customer who orders the goods, your DC bike. So sold to party is right here. So we're selling it to your DC bikes, and we saw that in the inquiry. So we are going to go here to where it says name, because I don't know the number. So under name is where I can have text. And so I only know asterisk, maybe DC, and then close asterisk, because I may not know the number. So I find something that says DC bikes, and I'm going to find my 99 right here. And so that comes up. And then it says valid to 1 month from today. So this quotation that I'm creating is valid for this customer up until a certain date. So here's that valid from, right? We're looking for valid to. So it's valid from the day that I started today until a month from now. So they only get a month to say whether they accept it or don't accept. Oops, I don't know why I did not 8, 10. So we're going to do a month out. And so this quotation is only for a month. Okay. And then we have this required delivery. That's fine.
Did you do April 9th?
Yeah, I did April 9th. Sorry, I did 10th at first, but that was an accident. Okay, and so then once we do that, it says at the bottom of the screen, enter the following information. And so we're going to enter, and if you take a look before we just start typing, it kind of is telling us the next line, the next line. So material 1 is going to be elbow pads, the next line is going to be road helmets, and then your repair kit. So we're going to have 3 items in this quotation. And then the quantity requested, it comes from the inquiry. So if I go back to the inquiry, it tells me what quantity they're asking, right? So 20 for the elbow pads, 15 for the road helmets, and 12 for the repair kit. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to go here to the item, and I'm going to search for elbow pads. If I don't know what it is, I kind of know it's EPAD 1099, because I'm 99. I don't know what you guys are. And then my order quantity is, I think they said 20. And then I'm going to go down to road helmet. And then road helmet, do you guys remember what road helmet was?
RHMT 10,
And
and
then your
then your
division.
number.
Perfect. Thank you. And I think we have 15 here. And then repair kit. Someone tell me repair kit.
RKIT.
Yes, 1099 for me. I don't know what you guys are. And then 12, because that was the item from the inquiry. So this is all it's asking me to save, right? Then it says click on save. So I'm in step 1.26, and then there's a red arrow. You will receive a message that says quotation has been saved, and I need to get that resulting document number, which is going to show up here. So I'm going to hit save. Quotation document something has been saved. So you can copy that quotation number right here for number 4.
Mine says I have to enter something in for the ship to party. Like under where it says sold to party.
It shouldn't. Are you in quotation?
Yeah, I'm in create quotation overview.
So put something in there, put the same number in there.
Okay.
But that means that something was not updated for your customer in your customer master data. So we'll have to take a look at that. But right now we're just going to keep moving on. So then I'm at step 1.27, and it says type the / n VA23 in the command field. Someone tell me what does this mean, / n? What does that mean? Why is it telling me, here's my command bar, why is it telling me to put a / n here?
It takes you back to the easy access menu.
Correct, back to the navigation, and after that it's telling me to put in V23, VA23. What does that mean? VA23 was, if you remember, it's one of the transaction codes, and I believe it's to display a sales quotation. And what it's doing is it's forcing us to automatically go to the navigation, and then it's saying go to that transaction code once you get there. So it's kind of now giving you, as you're moving forward, they're giving you shortcuts and how you're able to maneuver into SAP. These are things you want to remember as you're moving forward and you're going out to your job. These are little shortcuts that you end up finding out once you're in the job and you're doing it for a while. However, you guys are learning these little shortcuts in class. So / n is navigation, and then we're adding in our transaction code. So automatically we're going to go into that transaction code. It won't even take us back to the navigation path. It'll just directly know that we're going back to the SAP Access and we're going to hit this transaction code. So now when I go into display quotation, you should all see a number that comes up. That's that same number that you had when you created it. So whenever you go straight back into a display screen, it will always fill in with whatever your latest thing, whatever your last item that you just created. So for example, if I was in the create quotation, if I go directly into the display quotation, it will automatically pre-populate. So in case you ever forget, oh, I forgot to get that document number when I created it, just go to the display sales order, display quotation, and it will already be here for you. So now it says, so we're here in the display quotation initial screen, and that quotation number should be identified here. And so now I'm in step 1.2.10. In the SAP menu bar, click on More, and then click on Environment. So I'm here where it says More. And then I'm going to go into Environment. And then click on the Display Document Flow, which is step 1.211. So, so I'm here and I'm going to go into this Display Document Flow. Before I click on it, I'm going to just go back here. Pressing F5 or clicking Display Document Flow, which is this little icon here, will also bring up the document flow. So take a look here. They're saying this little icon will also bring up that document flow screen that we want to go to. So there's two options. You could do this icon, or you can go into More, Environment, and then Display Document Flow. There's another little red button here, arrow. The screen displays the status of the order. Throughout the exercise, you will view the document flow to see the status changes as we complete more of the process step. Use the information in the document flow screen to answer the questions, especially this next question. So throughout this lab, it's going to keep asking you to go to where? VA 23. If you're in a screen, it's going to tell you / n, but it's not going to ask you, it's not going to tell you where to go anymore. But if every time it asks you a question about what's the status of your quotation or what's the status of your order, sales order, you're going to have to go here to the display flow. So let's go to the display flow and see what's going on. So right now you can see this is the document flow of this quotation. Right now that's open, and this is your quotation. So what is the status of the quotation? It's open. It will close a month from now, or it could be converted over to a sales order. And at that point, we will see what happens to the quotation if that quotation is converted over to a sales order. If I wanted to look at that document, I could double click on that document and it will tell me what that quotation is. Now in that quotation, notice prices came up, right? So this is taking you back to those prices that you did for the pricing condition for that customer. And so based on that pricing conditions you've identified, there's a total bill. And so now DC Bikes knows if they want these items, this is what each item is worth in total, and this is what their quotation comes out to. So they can do some negotiation, they can ask for a discount, whatever they want. Okay, so you're able to answer number 5. So now we're in step 1.2.12. Refer to the previous step in the previous exercise for instructions on how to review material inventory. So that was in 5.1. You had to review material inventory. Review the inventory of your elbow pads and road helmets and repair kits to answer the following question. While the balance in your inventory may be obvious, it's always good to check for grading purposes. So it's kind of obvious that everything is still the same. We still have 50 in unrestricted, 50 for here, and 50 there. But you're going to have to check it a few times. So you will be asked to review inventory amounts throughout this exercise. In this new session, when asked for the inventory amount, you simply click back and then click execute once again to get the most current amounts. So what it's saying is you can actually have a couple of screens open. So I'm going to exit out of here. I'm going to go back to /N, back to my navigation path. Does anyone remember how to keep open another session? So you can go into more and you can do system and then a new GUI window. And that will allow you to have 2 windows open of SAP, right? And then you can, on that second window, I have a second window that's opened here. So I have one here and one here. So what I can do here is I can look at inventory. Does someone remember what it was for inventory? So I saved it under my favorites here, MMBE. But you want to be able to pick on this. And what's our first material we wanted? We wanted to look at EPAD 1099. I'm looking at Plant Miami 99. And I'm going to hit execute. And so here I'm at, and it still says for unrestricted, it's 50. And what it's saying is if you wanted to refresh the page, you can just hit back, go right here, and then hit execute again. And it will refresh every time you do something new. So I'm going to kind of keep this, I'm going to kind of, I guess, minimize it so it's there. But I know that I have another screen for stock overview if I need it. Okay. So now you can open up another one, refer to a previous step in a previous exercise, meaning 5.1, for instructions on how to review customer balances. Review the account balance of your customer to answer the following question. While the balance in your customer's account may be obvious, it's always good to check. The reason you want to know this is maybe for the midterm, I might ask you at what point in that activity, in that process, does revenue or does your account balance increase or decrease, right? Or when does your inventory increase or decrease? Or when does it move out of unrestricted? Okay, so these are questions that you need to understand it because you want to visualize that process. So do you remember what it was for account?
Is it FD10N?
is it FD? I don't know, FD 10N.
That's what I think it is.
Okay, very good. I didn't even have that saved. So now we're in customer. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do / hold on. I'm going to actually create another screen. System new. And I'm going to go into FD10N. This is my customer. My company code is going to be US 99. My fiscal year is going to be 2021. And then I'm going to hit execute. And it says no data was read. Is that correct? Pretty much. There's no balance, right? There's nothing. So everything is 0 because there's no data that's there for the fiscal year. So I can actually minimize that because nothing happened. We didn't put an invoice there, so we haven't really dealt with them. It's just a quotation. So nothing's moved in our stock and nothing has really been updated in our account. So now we're going to receive the order. So in this section, you look over the order received from the customer you had previously sent a quotation to. You now receive the following purchase order from your customer. So now the customer says, you know what? I like your quotation. I'm going to order. So they send in a purchase order. They fax it over to you wanting to purchase the following materials. This section has no S&P activity associated with it. So now you get a purchase order from Global Bikes, from Jeremy Jones, and you get this document faxed over, and he says, you know what, this is fine. Whatever you have in your quotation, we're good with it. So then we go on to the next section, which is sales order. So now you're in the sales office, and you create now a sales order from the purchase order you received in the previous step. You can now create a sales order by referencing the quotation created in step 2. If necessary, you can add or delete items changed and change quantities. So does it look like we need to change anything? No, but we do have the option to do that. And you guys had that ability to do that when you did the purchase order as well. So the reference reduces more work. So we don't have to recreate a sales order because they're really using our quotation we sent them. Everything kind of matches that quotation. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a sales order and we're going to create it referencing that quotation. So how do we do that? We're going to go back into that SAP Easy Access and we're going to do logistics, sales and distribution. So I'm back here in logistics, sales and distribution. I'm in the sales folder. I'm now, instead of quotation, I'm doing order. And when I open up order, I have once again those 3 things: create, change, and display, which are questions 11, 12, and 13. So here you can answer 11, 12, and 13, and I want to actually click on create. So I'm going to click on VA01. And so I'm in this create sales document. It's kind of similar to our quotation, but this one says create a sales document instead of create a quotation. So here in order type, I'm going to distinguish between the different types of sales documents, and we're going to put in OR here. So we're going to find OR. And so we're going to go like this, and we're going to find OR, standard order. Can you close the door? Close the door. And your sales organization is going to be East Coast. And so we have that UE99. And then it's wholesale and accessories. It's kind of already filled in. And then instead of doing continue, we're now going to create with reference. And so click create with reference. And in that pop-up, create with reference. Thank you.
Is it supposed to be OR1 or just OR?
Just OR.
Okay.
So we're here in step 1.4.3 with, I'm sorry, you already created that. So now we're in step 1.4.4 in the create with reference pop-up. So we had a pop-up. And so enter the following information. So under quotation right here, it says enter your quotation number. So if you remember it, you can enter it in. If you don't remember it, you have to go and find it. So, here's my sales organization. I'm just going to put this like that, and I'm going to probably increase it to 5,000. And I'm going to do a start search to see if they can find and they don't have it in here. So I found, oh, these are not mine. Huh. I think mine was 200.
Yeah, when I typed my quotation number and it said no matches found.
Yeah, mine too. Oh, meaning when you tried to search for it, right?
Yeah, or just like when I typed it in the original box, it was said no matches found.
Let's see if I do it this way. Oh, you know why? This is sales document number. Let's see here. So I went back down to, I went to a different tab. So I went to a different tab called Sales Documents by Material Number. And when I did that, I was able to find 57 entries. So this has all your entries, and then you can kind of look for your 99. So EPAD 99, I guess. So mine's is right here, right? So I can see my quotation that way, and I can pull it up so I can see my quotation number. So once you have that, you then click on copy. So I'm going to wait a couple of seconds. Is there someone that has not found their quotation number?
Yeah, I couldn't find mine. Are you able to go over it again?
Yep. So I'm going to go into this search. And when you're here in the search, if you didn't find it with that first filter or that first, because we were here, and if you couldn't find it, open up all of the ways to search for items. And if you do that, you'll see right here, there's something called Sales Documents by Material Number. And so when I clicked on that, I got all of the
Oh, yeah, I found
quotations.
it.
Perfect. And then you just click on the one that's yours, and then you'll get your number. All right. So once we do that, we're going to click on this copy button right here. And so everything that we already typed in will already pop up. Okay. So now we're in step 1.4.6 in the create standard order overview. So we're here in that create standard order overview. Enter the following information. So customer reference. So we look around to see if you can see customer reference, and it's right here. It says purchase order number from section 1.3. So I'm going to go back to section 1.3. And if you look at, there has to be a purchase order here. And the purchase order is right here. Do you see it? So the purchase order number is 10, and then it's your 2 digits. So this customer reference order I'm going to put in is 10. For me, it's going to be 99. For you, it's going to be 10, whatever, 02, 03, 04. I'm going to go back down to where I was, which is here. And then it says click enter. So everything else kind of is the same. So I'm going to hit enter. And when I hit enter, I can then answer questions 14, 15, and 16. So what's the requested delivery date? Right here, 3/9/2021. What is the net value of the sales order? Can someone see where that is? It's kind of up here in the header. Here's the net value of the sales order. And what are the payment terms? Where is that for this customer? So remember, we put that in already. It's pay immediately without deduction, 0001. It's right here. That's the payment terms. Remember, we did FOB. We did the location is going to be Miami, and we entered that information in for that customer. So now we're going to click on Save. You'll receive a message that says standard order has been saved. So we're going to click on Save. And so mine's a standard order number 4. Okay, so I'm going to enter that in. I'm going to put that there. And then it says refer back to how to do the display the document flow for the sales document. So now what's the status? So I'm going to open mine up and you guys check yours. I don't think I did that one, did I? No. So let's exit here and I'm going to open up a new screen, do system, new GUI. And I think it was VA 23. There's my quotation. I'm going to do the icon display document flow. What happened? Do you see what happened to the quotation? For me, it's completed. And now my standard order is open. So they're asking you, what is the quotation status, number 8? For me, it would be completed. Someone take a look at what's happening to your inventory. How many inventory do you have in unrestricted? So we're going to go here to stock overview, and I'm going to go here. I'm going to go back and just look at what happened to EPAD. Still is unrestricted use. So what happened? Just because I created a sales order, nothing really moved, right? All right, and then what happened to my inventory balance? Let's check it again. We did this, and we're going to do execute. Still no data was read. So I said, okay. All right. So let's minimize these things. All right, and so now we're preparing for shipment. So now we're in section 1.5, prepare shipment. In this section, you will prepare shipment for the sales order you received by picking and packing the appropriate goods from their appropriate storage locations. You will then send an invoice later. So in the SAP Easy Access screen, follow the navigation path below. So we're in Easy Access here. And we're going to do logistics. We're going to do sales and distribution. We're going to do shipping, transportation, right here. So we're in sales and distribution, shipping and transportation. We're going to do outbound delivery. We're going to do create, single document. And then it says with reference to sales order. So with reference to sales order. So what's the transaction code to pick and pack materials? It's going to be VL01N. Okay, so that's the transaction code to pick and pack materials. So now we're in warehouse. And so warehouse is doing this. So we're in the create outbound delivery with order reference. So we're going to pick because there's a sales order, and we're going to reference that sales order. So in this screen, what's our shipping point? It's going to be Miami, right? 99, because it's my Miami is where the shipping is going to come from. That are going to be the distribution plant. The selection date is going to be today, right? The requested delivery date from your sales order, which is today. And my sales order number. So my order number was 4. I don't know what your order number was. And then it says click enter. So I'm going to hit enter. No, I need you to go. And then And then we have here your outbound delivery create overview page. Get up. Take your bottle. Okay, take it. Let's go out. Don't come in here. Here. Bye. Okay. So we're here in the create outbound delivery with order reference. So no, we're here. So we're in the step 1.5.4 in the outbound delivery create overview screen. Click on the picking tab. So we're going to click on the picking tab. And then it says step 1.5.5, enter in the following information. So once again, I'm just going to look ahead. It sees that there's 3 items because there's next line. The material one is elbow pads, road helmets, repair kits, storage location. I have to enter in my trading good location and the picked quantity. So the desired quantity that I want to pick from my location. So we have to tell the warehouse exactly where it is in the plant, right? So the picking is saying, you know, the warehouse manager is going to come in and he's going to say, okay, we have a sales order number 4. Where is it? Where's the storage location? So it's TG 99 for me because it's in the trading goods location, TG 99 and then TG 99. So these are all storage locations that exist in the Miami plant. That's where these are residing currently. That's in the stock, right? So they have to pick how many of them, 20 of the elbow pads, 15 of the road helmets, 12 of the repair kits. And then once we're done with that, once you put in your desired quantity, so this is delivery quantity, we have to go over Did I miss it? So where we need to put in the picked quantity is right here. So how many are we going to pick? We're going to pick 20, 15, and 12. So we should have something in the material, which we do. It's already grayed out. We should have storage location, your trading good location, right here. Then the delivery quantity is what is this the sales order requesting, and how much are we going to pick? Well, we're going to pick 20, 15, and 12. And then we're going to click on save. So at the bottom of your page, you should have save. And I'm going to click save. And it says you will receive a message that says outbound delivery number has been saved. So what is that number? So you can copy that down here. So now question number 25, refer to a previous exercise on how to display the document flow for sales documents. So I'm not going to do that this time. I want you guys to do it. And tell, you know, answer number 25. Then you can answer 26, 27, 28, and 29. So you can do these things now. So if we remember how to get to the document flow, it's back to VA 23, right? So we're doing VA 23, enter. There's my quotation. I'm going to hit continue. Oh, no, right? What do I hit? This document flow button right here, right? And now what's happened? My quotation is completed. My standard order now is completed, and now my outbound delivery is in progress. My picking request is completed, right? So what's happening? What's the standard order status? The standard order status is completed now. Well, now let's take a look at your stock overview. So for EBAT, I got to go back out. I'm going to do an execute. I still have 50 in unrestricted, right? There's 20 if I go over 20 that are scheduled for delivery. It's still unrestricted because I picked them. So 20 out of them are scheduled for delivery. But 50 is unrestricted. Okay, so we'll do that. And then, so we picked it out of the 50 and they're scheduled for delivery. Okay, so now we're going to refer to the previous step to look at the balance for the account. So the account balance is here. And so for that customer, we're going to do an execute, and there's still no data was read for the fiscal year. Okay, so we're going to decrease that, and we're going to go down here and decrease that. And so now we're going to be in send shipment. So in this section, you send the shipment of goods to fulfill your order to your customer. Creating the post goods issue, shipping reduces unrestricted stock to reflect the quantity shipped. It is also indicates a change in the ownership of the goods, which reflects liability and responsibility. So now we're going to do a goods issue. Before, what we did in procurement was we did goods receipt. We received items in our company. Now we're going to issue goods to the other customer. So now we're going to go back here to, is there someone that's not with me? Okay, great. So we're in this navigation and we're back into logistics here. And then we're going to go into sales and distribution. We're going to go to shipping and transportation. We're going to go to, we're going to open up shipping. We're going to go into outbound delivery. We're going to go to change folder. And we're going to go to single document. So what is the transaction code to post the goods issue? It's VL02N. So we're going to click on that. And it says outbound delivery. Mine's automatically populated because it was the last thing that I just did, right? So you should be in the change outbound delivery screen. Enter the following information, your outbound delivery document that you created here in section 5 in prepare shipment. So mine's is right here. And it says in the change outbound delivery screen, click on the post goods issue icon. So there's a little icon right here that says post goods issue. You remember that icon with the document flow? It's here as well. So we can click on post goods issue icon. You will then receive a message that says outbound delivery has been saved. So let's click on that. And now your outbound delivery has been saved. So that, what does that mean? Post means that we created an outbound delivery in this step. We prepared it for shipment, but it was scheduled to be shipped, but it wasn't posted yet. Now we're going through the actual thing to change that outbound delivery, right? So once we created an outbound delivery, now we're changing the outbound delivery and we're posting it. We're confirming this is now ready to be shipped, okay, to be issued. So now we posted it and it says outbound delivery has been saved. So now let's go back to display the document flow for the sales document. So what's the outbound delivery status? So I'm going to go back to the document flow, which is right here. I am going to go back out. I'm going to take that quotation and I'm going to continue. Oh gosh, sorry, that was wrong. What was I supposed to do? I was supposed to hit this right here, the document flow right here, display document flow. And so now what happened? So my outbound delivery is still in progress, but from that step, those steps, outbound delivery, the task of picking request was completed, and now My goods issue delivery document is now complete as well. Okay, so what's the outbound delivery status? The outbound delivery status is in progress. It's still not completed yet. What's happening to our unrestricted stock? So we're going to go in here. We're going to do stock overview. I'm going to go back out. I'm going to hit execute. And now what happened to my unrestricted use? After I did that post goods issue, my 50 went down to 30. And now if I go around, you can see the scheduled for delivery is gone as well. That means it's done. It's gone. It's gone from my building and it's gone from my inventory. So now I'm going to check my account to see what's happened with my customer balance. Whoops. I'm going to hit execute. It still says no data was read for fiscal year. Can someone tell me why?
We haven't sent the invoice yet.
Correct. We haven't done anything to that customer's GL account yet. Haven't done anything. Very good. So there we go. So now we're in section 1.7 and we're going to now send an invoice. So in this section, you create and send an invoice to your customer for the goods that they purchased. Once the post goods issue has been generated, you can bill your customer for the shipped goods, right? So once the post goods issue has been generated, you can now bill your customer for the shipped goods. So let's go and do that. So let me minimize all of this. So now I'm going to go to logistics. I'm going to go to logistics, sales and distribution. Now I'm going into the billing. So now I'm really an accountant at this point, right? I'm now an accounting. So the next step is now accounting. So warehouse did their stuff. So now in billing, now I'm going to go to billing document. I'm going to go to billing document, and there's a couple of things here. You can see it's create, change, display. So if I made a mistake with my invoice, I can change it. I can take a look at it. So now I want to create it. So I'm creating a billing document. So 36 is VF01. So I'm here. And so in the create billing document, there's a document number. And I have to enter in my outbound delivery document. Mine's already pre-populated. So I have my document number. And then it says step 1.73, click save. You will receive a message that says document has been saved. So this billing document is going to be based on whatever your delivery document that you picked and packed and you had a goods receipt. That is now what we're going to create an invoice on. So I'm going to create save. I'm going to hit saved. And at the bottom, it says document 9006 has been saved. That is now your billing document. You've automatically created it using a delivery document. Okay, so whatever your goods issue was, that's now what we're going to do. So now you can write that down here for 37. So now let's go back and look at the invoice status, right? And the accounting document status. So let's look at the display, the document flow for the sales document. So we're going to go back into VA23, which is here. I'm going to go back out. So I have my quotation still. I'm going to do a display document flow. So now what happened? Everything is now completed. My outbound delivery is completed because the picking goods is done. The goods issue is done. And at first it said in progress, but now it's completed because an invoice was generated. Okay. And if I click on the invoice, I can see what my invoice was right here. And if I want to display the document, I can click on display document here with the eyeglasses, and it will actually display the actual invoice for me. Okay. And so I can do that for any one of my documents, right? If I want to look at my goods issue, I want to display the document, I can do that. And this is stuff that I created and I put in there, okay? And so I'm going to go back out. And what does it say for your account document? It's not cleared yet. Your account document is still not clear. So the invoice was generated, but your account document is not clear. Well, now let's go and take a look at the customer balance. So we're here. This is not my customer. So now let's take a look at my customer, what happened. Oops. So if I execute, now I got something. I got some debit that they have. They have a balance, right? They purchased this items. So now what's happening is they're saying that I generated an invoice. It automatically updated their GL account, right? So now I know for this customer, we now have a balance that is being carried over and they need to pay it, okay? And the invoice is there, accounting is still not cleared, and everything else is completed. All right, so now where I'm on, so here, let's refer back to the previous step on how to review the inventory. So if I go back to the inventory, my stock inventory, that's still going to be, right, 30 because I already shipped it out, so it's still 30. There's nothing going on with my inventory. Now it's 30, that hasn't moved, but now we have some information for 43 and 44. So now they're going to receive payment. So in this section, you receive a payment from your customer and look over the check that was sent. So they're going to send you a check in accounting and someone opens it up. So in this section, there's no SAP activity associated with you. Associated with it, you now receive the following check. So what happened? We got the payment of $2,634 paid to the order of Global Bikes. So this is their check. The check has been signed by the accounts payable manager for DC Bikes. When you receive this check, you must post the payment in the accounting records, and then someone will actually take it to the bank, right, and put it into the bank, right? So now we're at the last step. We're going to do post payment. So in this section, the customer has received the invoice and sent you a payment. This will be posted to the company's general ledger account, and you look at this new balance at the end. So now let's go back. We're still acting as if we are now accounting, right? Because the accountants are the ones that are going to get the checks. So we're now here in the SAP Easy Access, and we're in accounting now. So we're in accounting here at the bottom, okay? And so in accounting, we're going to go financial accounting, accounts receivable, and then document entry, and then incoming payments. So F-28. So now we're going to get some payment. And so step 1.92, you have to post it. So you have a header data, bank data, open items. And so we're going to put today's date in. So I'm going to open it up for today's date. I'm then going to put in the company code, right? My GBL, right? So it's right here. It's already pre-populated. It says the currency is going to be USD. So right underneath it is the currency rate. And you see that they're asterisk. So you're not going to be able to move forward. Posting date is the date we're going to post it, which is today. We want it posted the same day, but you can post it another day and have it posted onto the account later on. So then it says in the bank data section, so here in the bank data section, your bank account. So here where it says account, we're going to go and find our account, bank account. So I'm going to look in my GL99 and I'm going to do start. And I think you guys all know your bank. It's 100,000, right? So we're going to put in 100,000. Everyone should be the same account number. And then it says amount this customer paid. So what was the account? They gave us a check for $2,634. So do 2,634. That's how much they paid. And then in the open item section, stop. Okay, tell Anita. So open item selection is right here. And the open item selection is my DC bikes. So in here, account, I'm going to find my DC bikes. I think it's, I always forget. I think it's $11.99, but let's do DC and open that up. And I'm going to find my 99 and click enter. And it says you will receive a message that says one item was selected. So I'm going to hit enter. And so it's going to say one item was selected.
When I hit enter, it says select the valid function. And it's like read by account type, and special GL.
So I think that it has to do with your customer. So all of that stuff was things that we put in for the customer. So just give me a minute. So now we're here. You'll receive a message that says one item was selected. And then here in the following screen shows you the unpaid invoices from this customer. In the bottom right part of the screen, the amount entered should equal the assigned amount and thus would make the not assigned amount 0. If the not assigned amount is not equal to 0, click on the amount under the USD gross column, okay? And this will tell you if there is more than one listed, okay? We have everything kind of equaled out, so ours is 0, okay? So in the post incoming payments process open screen, which is right now where we are, post incoming process open items, we're going to click post. Remember, post is where you're actually posting it to the account. So now we're going to post this payment to this open invoice. It's going to apply to this open invoice that was identified for this much. And we're going to say, okay, so this is the payment document number, 14, and then all these zeros is the payment document number. So let's refer back to the exercise on how to display the document flow. So now I'm going to go back to the display document flow, which was VA 32 or 23, sorry. And so we're here, and then I'm going to do a display document, and everything now is completed, and my account document is now cleared. Okay, so now you can answer the rest of those questions here. What's the accounting document status? Cleared. And then how many elbow pads are unrestricted and what's going on for the accounting. So let's take a quick look at what's happening in your accounting document. So I'm going to go back out. I'm going to go back in and do execute to see what happened now. And now what happened is there's a credit, a debit, and a credit. So it balances out. This is just telling you that they did something, but there is no balance that has to be carried over for every period, right? So we're in period number 3. There's nothing that's carried over. If I double click on the cumulative right here, it can tell me what they purchased on what day. I can do a click on this and I can do a display. And this just displays what happened, how much, what they purchased, what their invoice was, things like that. Similar to what you guys did when you were looking at it from the procurement version. Same kind of thing applies. So you're pretty much done. Make sure you tab out, put your name. I need to know your identifier, your 2 digits, and you're pretty much done for